That is an interesting observation. So, if somebody wants to learn programming
Mm,
and they don't want to go to university, would you if that person that wants to learn but
mm.
doesn't want to go to university, if they tune into a YouTube channel, YouTube character personality, and is learning how to code from their videos, presumably learning, would you say that they are self-taught, or would you say that that channel is who taught them? Like, if you graduated from a university with a computer science degree, how
Mm.
did you become a programmer? Well, I went to school for it. Okay. So if you learned everything from YouTube, are you self-taught or are you a YouTube programmer?
I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I've heard this. Like, we'll go back to the music thing. Like, I've heard a lot of guitarists say they are self-taught guitarists. They learned from things online. Like, you would like the way you would consider, like, the way I would look at self-taught is you're just like dicking around on the guitar and you eventually work out like these are things that sound good. Like, that I would say is someone who is like truly self-taught. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people want to use that term self-taught because they didn't go through some more like traditional means that some would accept as, you've had an education in this thing. Like, you've had guitar lessons from a professional instructor. You've gone
Hmm.
to a university to learn programming, or like done some sort of like post education course on programming. Like that like some would, they wouldn't consider that self-taught, even though in that experience you're the one who's still really teaching yourself the information. Like, no one can, you can be presented the information. Like, someone can say this is how you would play a G chord, but you're ultimately the person who has to teach yourself, like, the finger placement for that, the way that like feels the most comfortable with your like hand size and your like arm length and things like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's a really tough question, isn't it? I'd never really thought of that.
I'm glad to have asked a thought-provoking question. I think about some of the stuff that inspired me, and I think that that's the key word for my own growth
Mm.
is when I'm inspired. I don't know, like when I'm inspired, sometimes I'll listen to a piece of music and I'm just like, oh, this is good stuff. And lately, what I've done, kind of an exercise, a self-teaching exercise that I've been doing is I listen to these songs that I really, really like. And maybe they're rock songs, maybe they're not. But I listen to them and I get a feel for what key they're in. And
Mm.
I've been focusing on that. Like, what key is this song in? Because if you know that, then you can play it, but like your version of it. I've never been a good musician that can emulate a style. And that was something that really held me back for a long time because so much instruction from YouTube or from books is
Mm.
like, play this song. It's a Led Zeppelin song. And it's like when I play it, it does not sound like Led Zeppelin. It sounds like not Led Zeppelin. I don't know what it sounds like. But then you watch somebody like at a guitar store and they're playing a song, you can hear them from the other side and it's like, I know what that is.
Mm.
But if I went over there and played it, it would sound like just like total butt. So I think there's something to be said about playing to your strengths,
Mm.
and emulating styles is just not a strength of mine.
Mm.
So going back to this exercise, I'd find songs that are just they only use like major key, like just in major. There's not all this crazy augmented stuff going on, and I figure out the chord progression like for the keys, and then once I do that, I can just like pick a key and just solo along with the song and just riff,
Mm.
and it's finger practice. It feels really good to me because like when you cover a song, when you play along with the track, you're hearing it
Mm.
and you dig it. You know, you're playing a song that you like. Like I'm thinking of a couple songs where I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. But you've heard it enough times that you know when, like something, the chorus is coming up, there's an interlude or something, and you're preparing for it. That's how I am anyways, but
Mm.
it's a really fun exercise that gets my ears in tune with the music, but also like it works my fingers on the fretboard.